Politically Speaking with Alex Presha starts now.
Thank you for joining us. We've got a great show this week. There's a San Diego mayoral race. We've had many of the candidates on already. We've got another one on deck today. He says YIMBYism, the city's current approach to building more housing, is the worst possible move San Diego could make on the affordability front. We'll get to that in a bit. But first, March is Women's History Month, and with a big focus in recent years on the Me Too movement, there's new state legislature aimed at protecting working women from sexual harassment on the job. And with me now is the author of two bills, Assemblymember Lorena Gonzalez of District 80. Now, this is a reintroduction of these two bills, correct?
It is. They were introduced, made it through the legislature last year. Governor Brown then decided he had a litany of Me Too bills on his desk and decided to sign some, as he would often do, and kind of balance it out by vetoing some. What we found is the ones he really benefited folks who I went to law school with, people that needed protections, women who were speaking out, but it protected people who could file a lawsuit, or corporate women on boards, corporate boards. And that was important work. But the people who were left behind were folks who were working as janitors and in restaurants and retail sectors. And so these women and the bills that were focused on those kind of suffered from this balance equation that the governor used. So we reintroduced them this year because we think if the Me Too movement is really profound and really makes changes, that we don't leave any women behind, but particularly not working class women.
And what are the specifics of these two bills that help that category?
Well, one is a presumption of retaliation. What we found basically in our going across the state and talking to working class women is so often they didn't want to file a lawsuit. That was out of reach for them. What they wanted is just behavior to stop. They'd go to their supervisor, make a complaint about a coworker who was making a hostile work environment, and often their shift was changed, their hours were reduced, or they were fired. If you file a lawsuit, you have those protections, but if that's not the course you're going, you have no protection. So this would provide protections for those women who just want the behavior to stop, but don't want to be retaliated against for reporting that. 60% of women don't report that they've been sexually harassed in the workplace. Beyond that, the second one is really about subcontracting and contracting. So a lot of hotels, a lot of businesses now basically subjugate their responsibility by having contractors or subcontractors come in and do the work. Yet those workers wear the uniform. They report to a boss on premise. They're at the premise. They think they're working for the hotel or for the company. And so this would hold the contractor employer responsible as well as the subcontractor. So it's a joint liability so that they can't say, well, it's not our problem that happened in our workplace.
Gotcha. Something else that's big this year is the Free the Vote Act. It would allow an estimated 48,000 parolees to vote in the 2020 election cycle. Talk to me about why that's been important for you as well.
Well, it's critical that when people have served their time and rehabilitated, they're back out, they're paying taxes, they're taking care of their kids, they have a job, that they should be able to participate in our electoral process as well. So this is a justice issue. It's also a clarity issue. In California, after you're done with parole, you have the right to vote. But that's really confusing. It should be very clear that if you're not in prison, you can register, re-register, and exercise that right.
Gotcha. Well, I want you to stay put, Assembly Member, if you don't mind. Coming up after the break, some other news that you've had. You've already declared your political plans for 2022. I want to get to that after the